getting done by 6 o'clock sometimes. So we'll start at 6:15 next time and then kind of roll from there. And of course, don't catch us right away. We'll have this recorded on Brighteon and on YouTube as well. So we'll get started tonight. Again, have some pretty holistic information here about pregnancy and fertility. And basically it's common sense, but a lot of people just don't think about it in the way we think about it. I've been in practice now 40 years, so I had lots of experience, lots of pregnant women we've worked with. Fertility issues, and a lot of fun with that, got a lot of good results. So, interesting stuff. So, nutrition with pregnancy and fertility. And of course, I'm doing the nutrition response testing here in the office. If you don't know what nutrition response testing is, it's basically a way of asking the body what it wants to be healthy and to work correctly. And so it's just a real great way of doing that. We have a video on our website at naturalquincy.com or explaining that more, where I go through some information about that. And basically, again, finding out what the mom needs for help there. Now, to realize in general terms, the baby gets 10 pounds of mom's best nutrition. So mom needs to be in very good shape. Dad supplies a little bit, but mostly it's mom that does all the work here, producing the baby and carrying the child to term, because to term. So anyway, what we look at, we have some pregnancy nutritionists that we work at, particularly when we're doing our prenatal checks. Now, for us, or for what I'd like to see is women that want to become pregnant. They come in the year before they work towards being pregnant, and the idea there is we give a whole year to have toxins out of the body, getting the body built up, so ready for that sequence to start. And so, but the pregnancy nutrition, these are special nutritions that we have to work on particular issues. So most of these we have covered with the normal nutrition response testing that we do, and watching the diet, getting the body ready for that. But then we have these specialty things to look at when it comes time. So Catalin is our nutrition for just multiple mineral, but Standard Process's big claim to fame is they make everything in a way that's very bioavailable, so that when you take and eat these foods, then your body absorbs them all. Or if you use like over-the-counter or cheap stuff out there, most of the time you PM away, or that even like some things, if you go ask the persons who uses the porta potties, Scotty's potties and things, and the bottom there will be those multivitamin pills still the way they were. The body doesn't even break them down. So it's very important to realize there's more to nutrition than just what's on the label. Labels, of course, are made for. They're very. They look very great there, but what does the body actually get out of that? And that's why we'd rather use whole food meant to have. Many of these other vitamins are coal-tar vitamins. They're the wrong source, the wrong kind. They're not organic. They're inorganic forms. The body just doesn't know what to do with them. Can't absorb them. We try to find things that are very bioavailable. So catenin is a multiple vitamin. E-poise is nutrition for our blood systems that help the blood to be in good there. Fortil B12, B vitamins, and Fortil is a way of getting more minerals into the body, so kind of a mineral supplement. Pituitrophin is for pituitary, which is your main hormone control gland. So again, getting all the hormones to work out as the mother's body changes, all the things going on there. Calcium is a very light form of calcium. It's very easy to absorb, again, for the baby's bones, the fetus's bones, and all the other tissues. Calcium is used in so many things used there. Eutrophin for the uterus itself, to make sure the uterus is in good shape. And then folic acid, B12, and the B vitamin complex, the folic acid, particularly for the neural tube development, for the nerves and things, and the brain development. The neural tube in the fetus there. So specialized nutrition, and of course then we're watching all the other organs as the mom's body develops, especially as we get into late term of the pregnancy. We're looking at nutrition for the heart itself to make sure that heart is in good shape, so the mom has plenty of energy to deliver the child. Now, fertility, that is really the same thing in that the mom's body has to be in good shape, or the fetus will not last the whole term. Again, neural tube development is so critical. That's what's normally a problem with miscarriages, is that's going on. But if mom's body's in really good shape and all the nutrients and vitamins are there, the fetus has a lot better chance of developing normally, naturally to the optimum. But if there's limiting minerals, limiting vitamins, limiting proteins and fats and all the good things, the macronutrients too, then the fetus can have problems developing, or mom suffers, and then the delivery becomes a real problem, and there's complications and all that kind of stuff. So the thing we're trying to do really is just prevent all the complications, and then of course we work towards natural childbirth if at all possible. Working towards and then after the delivery, towards breastfeeding is by far better than anything else you're going to find in the store. So all those things are really important. A lot of great organizations out there, like the Late Cheating League, and all those kind of things out there that really help with that. So again, more of a natural, organic, holistic approach to pregnancy and fertility, rather than eat all the junk you want, have a really poor lifestyle, then have to have medical treatment for fertility and have complications in delivery. So and carrying the child. So there's a lot better way of doing things, I think, the way we do stuff. So, and you can still have hospital deliveries and all that kind of thing, but just still, when your body's healthy and working correctly, you're going to have a lot easier term, easier delivery, and those kind of things too. Now, one complication that's really come up, and I'm even getting some more information about it today, and some of the sources I have, is that this jab business, COVID jab business, is causing some complications. And so we're working hard to figure out ways of detoxifying the body with that, and that's causing some really big problems with fertility, and it's also causing problems with carrying the fetus through term. So a lot of miscarriage issues in there. So I won't go into too much detail there, but the signal they're saying is there's definitely some problems with that. And of course you'll never hear anything about that on mainstream news or even medicine. So we have good ways of helping that out. So I think that's enough for me. It's a pretty straightforward thing. Just get the body healthy, like everything else we do around here, and then the body will do really good. Human bodies have been having babies for, moms have been having babies for, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So it's not a disease process. It's actually a normal thing, normal process the body should go through, and you really shouldn't have a big problem with it. This even goes along really too with menstrual issues too, because if menstrual issues are all off, then you can have problem with fertility, and if fertility is a problem, you probably have problems with the pregnancy, because again, nutrition not working good, diet, lifestyle, stresses, all that kind of stuff need to be addressed. So I think again that's enough for me. Don't forget that next week now we'll start at 6:15, and then you can find this later on YouTube and broadband.com for the watch later viewing. And so I think that's about enough for me. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Chip, let him talk about some great stuff, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and continue the conversation here. I'm Dr. Chip. Let's get to it. So again, we're talking about pregnancy and fertility today. Again, this is kind of the Women's Health Month for us at Natural Health. And again, when we want to talk about health, again, we can be aware too of what actually affects our health. And so again, just kind of always coming back to, I would say, the basics, or you would say the fundamentals, because as all the good or the great players or the great athletes that know, you have to get back to the fundamentals for you to get better and better there too. So again, there's three kinds of stress. Again, in general, there'd be the physical or trauma, be nutritional and chemical, and then emotional and thoughts. So again, these are the different things that can affect the body or affect us in a way to where it can actually take us off of our health course there. And we'll kind of explain and talk about what these all are too, and how it can affect us. So now again, when we want to talk about how our body is affected with these different traumas, there's thoughts, there's toxins there too. It's really more about actually how our body is able to adapt to those things. So what the body does have, a very important thing, is a nervous system. And a nervous system is our ability to actually sense our environment. Now we have 5 different senses: our sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing, which allows us to actually perceive our environment very well, and again helps us to experience things. And so the nervous system, it kind of has, you'd say, some modes to help us adapt in certain situations. So one system, you could call it the fight or flight system. It's called the sympathetic nervous system, but it's a mode that helps our body to adapt to you would say, an intense or high-stake environment. And it's helpful so that we're able to, you would say, flee, fight, or hide. And that can be more of a situation where we need to get out of the way really quick, or there is a predator in the area, anything like that. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system is more of our rest and digest, more of our relaxed state. And so again, this is kind of more of our alert, and this could be more of our at ease state. And so again, these states are not good and bad. They're just more of our modes of our nervous system to adapt, or we would say experience appropriately what's going on in our environment. And so this is kind of one way to see it or to imagine it, is that you could say the sympathetic and the parasympathetic here. So again, the sympathetic would be one more of you would say a hungry tiger in the room that hasn't eaten for days, and you could say is that you are the prey now. And so that would cause us to get more of this sympathetic mode where we're needing to either flee, fight, or hide. And then the parasympathetic one, again, there are a lot of big cats out there, house cats, but again, more of our rest and digest. It's more of our at ease, more calm, and so again, more of our playful state. So again, relating that back to pregnancy and fertility, you could say is that when our body when we perceive the environment a certain way, if our body is doing this, and we're in this state, then that is not very helpful for any of those situations, again, pregnancy or fertility. And so, again, it's kind of more of that, is the body actually ready to handle this thing here, or this, baby or anything. And so the tiger here, again, that would mean is that environment is very stressful, and that would say is that maybe it's not ready for the baby to be in that environment. And so when that happens, again, our body doesn't want to, you would say, be ready, or it's not going to be in an optimal state to allow a good pregnancy, a birth, and be able to be more fertile there. You would say with the parasympathetic mode is actually more of that state. Now, I'm not saying is that one way or the other is typically good or bad for the state. You can obviously be in both states, and that could cause an effect. But a lot of times too is that when our nervous system is just way too far one way or the other, then that's you would say off. It's not optimal for, again, a good healthy pregnancy and or fertility issues there too. And so again, we'll kind of just explain a little bit more here too. Now, again, Dr. Mark kind of explained more of the nutrition side and technique that will help with different things such as pregnancy and fertility. Chiropractic-wise, is just more about balancing your body so that your nervous system is well balanced, so that you're able to actually experience or adapt to your environment. And when the body is unbalanced, our systems are off, and we start having dysfunctions, which again causes illness, symptoms, or pain. And then when our body is balanced, when our body is able to have a very good healthy state, and it's able to self-heal and self-regulate. Just like, again, you get a cut on your hand, it's healing that cut. Again, your body's always wanting to do that. There just could be stuff that could limit that process. So again, it's just getting the body balanced enough to where you're able to heal optimally wellness, again, energy and health. And so again, that would be more of your optimal state for pregnancy and fertility. And then just another little analogy there too, just the central nervous system, our brain and spinal cord, the brain being more of the big part there too, is that it's sending the right signals to the body to help the systems work properly, so that, again, things can function well. And again, that's of course important for pregnancy or fertility, anything like that. Just so that, again, we're able to actually carry the baby. It's a good healthy pregnancy, and then of course even in the birthing process, that everything is much more at ease there too. So what are some good things for that health? We kind of, again, talked about the toxins, the trauma, and the thought there. And so again, the physical wise is that, again, it's always good to have good exercise to move our body, but also it's always good to know when to rest. Again, there could be a lot of times too that we don't want to push ourselves so hard or so much to where we're exhausting ourselves and we're not able to have good energy to. Again, vitamins and minerals. Again, you can find them in good foods. Of course, good health. Nuts, all that, or again, good vegetables and fruits, good minerals and vitamins there. Attitude there. And then there's other ones here. Again, like we said, kind of movement, walking and crawling. Crawling, again, kind of a more of when a person is pregnant or when they're getting close to that stage of birth there too, is that it's helping the kind of working different muscles, kind of engaging the core differently, and again, allowing for you could say an easier birthing there. Now breathing, of course, slow and controlled. Again, that's just kind of more of helping us to actually take a little bit more control of our nervous system. So a lot of times too, sometimes many people have a situation where we get kind of overwhelmed or anxious or anything like that, and we forget how important our breath is. Now, a lot of times we're not even thinking about our breath or breathing until I bring it up. Now you're probably thinking a little bit more about how your breath is coming in. Is it slow? Is it fast? Is it controlled? Is it a deep breath? Is it a shallow breath? Just all those different things you start to think of. So what's nice about breathing is that it's one of the main functions, or one of the main processes that we have voluntary control on. So it is a little involuntary at that, all the time, but it's one thing that we can actually, you could say, focus on and then control. And that, again, allows our nervous system to be able to come to more of an ease state. And then emotion, thought, again, practicing gratitude. Now, of course, there's plenty of research and studies on this too, but gratitude is a state to where our body is able to actually balance more. It's actually helping our brain and heart to connect more. And so again, allowing a good communication between the two, allowing our body, again, to become more of an ease state, and then allowing us to be more healthy. So again, a lot of fun research. If you're ever interested in that, I would just kind of look it up. It's quite fascinating. So again, just some helpful tips there too. So again, I think that is it for tonight. Again, just kind of a short and sweet one more tonight. And like Dr. Mark explained there too, is that we are planning on having these more at 6:15 is the time, just so that we're not going back and forth so much. So again, you can always follow us at Natural Health Quincy IL at Facebook, YouTube, Brighteon, and Instagram. You can subscribe to my email list at the website at naturalhealthquincy.com, and we are located at 2000 Jefferson Street in Quincy, Illinois, and the number is 217-228-2040. So again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you'll learn some good information, and again, just kind of knowing a little bit more about how you can help yourself with, again, pregnancy, fertility, and again, with the whole encompassing Women's Month here. So again, have a great week, and we'll see you soon.